Rev up your engines!
Nicole says, Scotty, what do you think about the recent Fiat Chrysler emissions lawsuits? Okay, well, you remember a while back, Volkswagen had the same thing. They had diesel engines, they had special software, so they ran great, had a lot of pickup, got good gas mileage when you're driving on the road, but when they went to get the inspection, and they knew they were being inspected because either no wheels were spinning or just the front wheels were spinning, it would go into a different set of software in the computer and cheat to put out less emissions to pass the test. Volkswagen got caught. Well, now Chrysler's been caught, Fiat Chrysler, with the same thing, cheating on the emissions, and the government, I believe it was an $880 million fine that they got to pay the government now for doing it. Well, you might wonder, why are they doing this? Well, there's one main reason they're doing it, and the main reason they're doing it is because they've been making big diesel engines for over 100 years for big trucks. That's the norm. They got that down pat. But they've always had a problem making smaller diesel engines for cars, for small mid-size SUVs. They decided to do this cheating so they go real fast, have a lot of power, but then wouldn't pollute when they were being tested on the emissions testing. So they got caught. Now, a while back, I had a discussion with this English guy. He's a big wheel at Shell Oil, knows a lot about engineering. And he said, Scotty, you know, I think you Americans did it right, because in England, we went for diesel engines. And now we're starting to phase diesel engines out, because no matter what they do, they always pollute a lot more than gasoline engines do. It used to be that the diesel engines got phenomenal gas mileage, and the gasoline engines didn't. Now they're getting pretty neck and neck to get about the same gas mileage. So he said, you guys were right, and now we're going more towards gasoline and electric cars there and starting to give away with diesels. So they got caught with that, the diesels. Who knows? Maybe eventually they will start just phasing them out for cars that people will just say, we're not even going to try to make them anymore. Stryker says, what are your thoughts on the 79 series Land Cruiser Utes and SUVs? Land Cruisers are Toyotas. The old ones were insanely solid built. I had a customer that had one so old that it had that Chevy-based 6-cylinder engine in it, and it still ran great. That said, they're tremendous gas hogs. Those things, you pour the gas in the tank and then it just blows out the back. They were absolute gas hogs. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But if you want a big vehicle like that, and if you want to get an older one and restore it, go right ahead. People love those things, and they can go through a lot because they're so high up. You don't have to worry about being in flood water. Some guys I know, they put snorkel kits on them so they can go through really deep water. They're excellent vehicles. Tremendous gas hogs. And if you don't mind poor gas mileage, maybe you're going to get one you can use on a weekend as a toy. Or maybe only drive it a couple thousand miles a year and you don't care about gas mileage then. Stephen Faber says, Scotty, hello from New Jersey. I got an 03 Honda Accord with 177,000 miles. I'm worried the transmission is starting to go. What signs should I be looking for to tell my worries are true? Okay, and those Accords, when the transmissions start to go on that particular year, what'll happen is when you're driving down the road, it'll either have a rough shift as it goes into the next gear, or, which is even more common, is when you're going at a steady speed going down a highway, especially 55, 60, it'll hunt for gears. It'll go back and forth the gears. Then you know, definitely time to get rid of it. The other one is, you start it up and it really shifts horrid for the first 5-10 minutes, and then once it warms up, it gets better. Then you know it's going out, and get rid of it before you got to throw a ton of money in it, because to rebuild one of those transmissions correctly is going to cost you anywhere from $3 to $5 grand. That's what it costs to do it correctly with a real mechanic who knows what he's doing, and it's not worth doing when you're that old. Poppy Jr. says, Scotty, I got a 99 Nissan Altima, and lately it's been taking longer to crank the start up. What could be the cause? I have to hold the key far longer than usual. Thanks. Okay, it's old as the hills. So, of course, tune it up if you have to spark plugs and all that stuff, air filter, fuel filter. If that doesn't help it, on those, it's often just the fuel injectors are old and worn out. You might need new ones, but before you do that, put some good cleaner in a gas tank like Chevron, Techron, any good fuel injector cleaner. Give it a couple hundred miles of drive and see if it helps. And if it doesn't help, it might pay a mechanic like me. Most mechanics charge about $100 to pressure clean your fuel injectors. We have a machine that we hook up on your fuel injector rail, and it throws pure cleaner into the fuel injectors, and it cleans it while you're sitting there driving it up and down, or the mechanic's working on it. That is a really good way to clean them on the car. And a lot of times that'll solve the problem, especially if it runs good once it warms up. An old car, those injectors can get dirty, and having them pressure cleaned often will fix it.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.